Greetings, citizens, and welcome back to New Harris. It's been a little while since the last one of these I recorded, and I honestly can't quite remember what I was doing last time or what I had planned for this time. And I would go and check, except my internet's been down for a little while, so I'm just having to wing it slightly. Now, I remember a couple of things. The big, stupid, huge hotel is under construction, and we've also got a jewellery factory under construction to meet this particular demand that's been made of us. We're in the process of exporting freeze-dried coffee as well, and we've also got the Swiss bank account, so that's in hand. And otherwise, things are ticking over fairly nicely. The economy is doing fairly well. We do have some homeless people, but they're, I think, basically people who are unemployed for the most part. There's maybe a couple of people who are seeing at least one there, but I think it is maybe just the one person that has a job, and the rest are all... Oh, no, there's another one. So we might want to build some more, maybe some even like free housing. We could do that. And I think possibly also we need some more Teamsters offices as well, because there's a couple of production places where stuff's really starting to stack up, like this labour camp here, for example. It's got a bunch in output storage, as does that one. So yeah, I think that's the first priority, is Teamsters office. We're in 86, by the way. This is the year of my birth, which isn't, you know, particularly relevant to anything. It's just thought I'd mention it because why not, I guess. Let's go nuts and build two of them. I can squeeze another one in down here. And the other thing was housing. That was it. It was oh, a modern condo. That's one I haven't presumably that's going to be rather fancy and rather nicer than the modern apartment block. I think we've built one or two of the condos already, but I don't know if we've... Oh, that upgraded automatically. Nice. Okay, so that... I think that might have been our only condo, and it just auto-upgraded, so that's rather... Unless some event happened that meant it auto-upgraded, I don't know. I'm not seeing any more of them. Oh, we have a rebel. I remember when I was setting this up, I thought I'd give myself a little bit of a challenge and, you know, set the citizenry to become more rebellious than normal, but it doesn't really seem to have made a huge difference. I think you have to almost deliberately screw things up a bit in this game in order to get lots of rebels happening. Right, we'll build a lovely bit of housing next to the cement factory. And I might even just make the conventillos rent-free, because you just pay a bit every so often. So the economy's generating enough that I could even... I'm sure there's an edict that lets you have like rent-free housing. Tax cut, National Day, early elections. No, it's somewhere. I'm sure there is. Economy and tourism. No, that's not going to be it. Am I just making that up? I'm sure rent-free housing is a thing. I might be wrong about that. I know it was in previous Tropico games. I could have... Oh, no, but there it is. Wow, it was literally the first place I looked, and I just overlooked it completely. Right, so I was correct. Free housing is a thing that we probably could afford, but I'm not feeling quite that generous. Not quite that generous. Right, so there's a jewellery factory underway. We can actually speed the thing up a bit. I think the tourism is doing okay. I mean, overall people are generally quite satisfied, but we've also got, yeah, not a huge amount of income, but a little extra every year coming in from tourism, so that's nice. Oh, it's also, I'd already set these bunkhouses to 0 rent as well. I guess we just don't have enough of them. I could spam down a bunch more, but that would lower the overall housing quality a bit. I wonder if it's more efficient with that space. Like, could I fit a conventillo in there as well? I'm not sure if I could, you know. What's the footprint like? Because it would up the... oh, maybe just. It would up the general quality of housing. So if I knocked down these 4 here, we could also stick in a conventillo. Which temporarily makes those people homeless, but I think in terms of footprint versus the amount of people it can hold, that's a more efficient use of the space. We might build 1 or 2 of these where are we? Swanky new condos as well. But I'm not in a special rush just yet. We've stacked up enough things to build already. Oh yes, I forgot that you could do that with the electronics factory. You could set them up to just to pirate stuff, because why not? Alright, I think everything is yeah, everything's ticking along nicely. Just trying to remember what everything is and does. Business centre, National Bank, which apparently has no workers. We did set up a college, but it always takes a while to get college graduates through, and there's always far less of them than high school graduates. Talking of, it'd be nice to... oh, there we go. Objectives completed. It'd be nice to know where you stand in terms of education, because you don't really have a way in this game of seeing how many extra spaces you need for kids in schools. Like, you can look and see how many people have, you know, which jobs, and you can see somewhere... is it economy? Yeah, you can see how many people are unemployed, which is quite a few at the moment, actually. But you can't see how many kids need places of education. So we might actually just build... oh, that's not the one I wanted. Or set it to build another grade school and another high school. Yeah, let's slide one in there. That's fine. I'll stick that to lower priority. I can just about vaguely remember how to play this game. Very vaguely. So yeah, we seem to be doing okay in terms of everything overall, which is quite nice. Now the game kind of dinged at me then. Does that mean there's a pop-up somewhere? I can't remember what that means. Oh, there we go. Hotel's finished. Oop. And that's filling up. We've got plenty of people looking for jobs, so that was nice and quick. And I don't think there's... yeah, this is just the usual everything. I did wonder if you could actually build more than one, but no, you can only just build the one. So, never mind. They've got a lovely view of the crash crop farm. Yeah, that one. Right, those are built and fully staffed. Jewellery factory is built. Workers gain experience quicker. Fine jewellery. And increased job quality. There we go, another conventillo built as well. That should fill up fairly quickly. Oh, and also, yeah, we can get that one built down here as well. We can just about squeeze in that delightful location next to the trash dump, but you know, that's where a bunch of these people were living anyway. We could slightly beautify the area by sticking down a little garden or something. And we'll just about squeeze that in. There we go. So they live next to a trash dump, but at least there's a lovely little, you know, thing of benches and trees next to it as well. I wonder if there's something else that's... squeeze that into that gap. And there we are. Isn't that much nicer? Just ignore the trash heap on the other side. Oh, there we go. So there are some missions. They just want 7,000, 15 Europe relations. Sure, possibly didn't need to do that. I probably should have checked first if I actually needed the extra relations, but never mind. Execute a criminal. There's one thing I haven't done, which is have the death penalty, and I'm not particularly inclined to have the death penalty here on New Harris. If we want to punish people, we just stake them out and leave them for the midgies. And there are many actual variations of apocryphal, well, you wouldn't call them urban tales, but it would be a rural tale, I suppose, of either variously gamekeepers or poachers getting left out, you know, strips left out for the nibbies, the midgies to nibble on. So yeah, it's not a nice thing to contemplate even. It gives me a horrible itchy feeling just thinking about it, to be honest. Do we get any variations of... No, it seems like there is just one type of condo. Or modern condo, as it were. Which, I should probably check how we're doing for power, actually. Fine for now. We could build another solar plant at some point, but we are absolutely fine. And that's chock full of guests. It's got a really high service quality, which is nice. I think that's even better than the luxury hotel. Yeah, way better. So, let's have a quick look at the timeline, actually. Is there anything? Car factory? Diamond Cathedral, interesting. That's one of the things that's been kind of persistently on the low side is religious happiness. It seems one of the harder things to keep up with. Job quality is also not that high, so we could possibly up the base wage a bit. Is it control to do everybody? I think it is. Or is it shift? Oh, why am I thinking there's hotkeys? You just click the button. You can tell I really am a little bit rusty with this, can't you? Oh, let's just have another couple of Teamsters offices. I think that'll bring down the unemployment still further. It can't really go wrong with having a bunch of those. We might also want to look at... Oh, I forgot to build another one of those. Well, that's fine. We've got another one of those sat there waiting to be expanded. Yeah, food production. How are we doing for... it'll be trade, won't it? Imports... corn, tobacco. So just tobacco, really, we're importing at the moment. We could build... I don't know, like another fish farm over here, although it's a little... Weirdly enough, the area around the refinery is not that bad, but unsurprisingly the area around the actual oil rig kind of is. Well, seeing as how there's infrastructure more or less there already, we squeeze it in that gap. No. Just have to hope the oil tankers manage not to crash into the fish farm. That's cleared out a good few of these houses here, which is nice. We still don't have anyone working at the bank, sadly. There's another mission. Prohibition! Nope. We like our whiskey too much, I'm sorry. Right, I also noted that healthcare was looking a little on the low side. Of course, doctors are quite highly educated workers. They're all college workers, so I don't know if we have enough spare college workers, but I guess we'll see if we can make do. Can we put some road up here? Yes, we can. We can build some more stuff around this side. I normally waffle a little more about other things when I'm doing these, so I don't know what I can waffle about at the moment, really. If I start talking about politics, a bunch of people will tell me off in the comments. Listen, I don't do it often. You'll just have to forgive me that if I indulge myself every so often to have a good moan about politics and, you know, news generally. There's plenty of depressing stuff going on in the world. Although there's also plenty of ludicrous stuff as well. There was a story that came out before the election about Boris Johnson wanting to... Like, he'd had a brilliant notion that we could build a bridge connecting Northern Ireland and Scotland. Which, I mean, okay, it's 14 miles and change, I believe, so distance-wise it's not a completely mad idea, but in terms of the depth of the ocean there, and much more pertinently as well, the weather. There is a bridge between the Isle of Skye on the west coast and mainland Scotland. Much shorter bridge, but it is colloquially known as the Bridge to Nowhere because it in winter is extremely frequently shut because of wind, and that's just on the relatively sheltered west coast of Scotland. Between Skye and is it like even less than a mile? I can't remember. It's not it's a big enough bridge, but it's not a huge bridge by one stretch of the imagination. But yeah, he's got some idea that it's going to be like the bridge across the Øresund Strait in Denmark, and it's really not. And apart from anything else, it would cost an absurd amount of money. But there is an amusing side to all this nonsense because Boris Johnson has got form when it comes to ridiculous, wasteful bridges that don't actually then materialise, because I've no doubt this won't go anywhere. Somebody somewhere will stamp on his hands often enough that he'll get the idea that it really isn't a sensible plan at all. What was I building, by the way? A hospital, that was it. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to, and then I did. Some politics happened, only it wasn't so much politics as our Prime Minister saying something completely idiotic. And the reason I brought it up, because it has been brought up again. There are reports that he's apparently still on about this idea, that he still thinks it could happen somehow. Which, yeah, is a little bit ridiculous. Not that that's going to stop him. For years he had the reputation of, you know, the whole thing was just an act. He's not really that bumbling and idiotic. He's a secret genius. And that possibly sounds familiar to anybody in the US. But, yeah, it kind of applies to Johnson as well. But no, as it turns out, he kind of is a bit of an idiot. And he's the idiot that's in charge of things, so that's fun. This is just pure decoration. This isn't particularly necessary. This is just filling in the wee gaps because, you know, why not? It looks a bit nicer. I think I've said this before, but it's a pity you can't, like, paint the concrete or tile. Well, probably is concrete tiles. The tile foundation down in various areas. We might actually increase the... There we go. power capacity a bit, because why not? So what was the new thing? I've forgotten. There was a new thing. A car factory. I mean, these things all require high school educated workers, so maybe that's a thing we should build another of as well. Not just a grade school, but a high school. So that would be education, high school. Maybe over here, actually. We can just about fit it in there, or would that be better served by more housing? Although that's apparently slightly awkward terrain. Let's build it there, that's fine. Could probably squeeze like a mansion or something in that spot. Possibly another condo? Yeah, another condo could go in there, that's fine. And we can fill in the gaps with flowers and gardens and fountains and things. Which of course you can just put down as you please, pretty much. You can't go quite as nuts as like some of the stuff I've seen people do with city skylines is pretty incredible. I don't have the patience to make a city look that ridiculously good, but it's seriously impressive when people do. It's the same when people do custom builds in things like Fallout 4, and you just, you know, you kind of get a bit blown away by the creativity on display, but also the patience on display to not just get bored or distracted halfway through, which I probably would. No, that's not the one I wanted. There we go, a little statue on that corner. So the kids all remember to... I don't even know who that's supposed to be a statue of. It's somebody that looks like they've got a briefcase or something. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it could be. Well, it could be El Presidentina, or I forgot I was doing that. El Presidente, La Presidente. I never managed to make that not awkward, did I? But you know, maybe it's somebody connected to the administration somehow, and the kids have to make sure they salute it every morning. Right. If it's something slightly more substantial in here, perhaps. You're still left with these odd little gaps. It's hard to get it super exact. Apparently we can fit another one of those in there. That's fine. And why? Okay, that Penultimo just decided to... He just likes to hear the sound of his own voice every so often, I think. Oh, no, not a nuclear shelter. I could build one of those. I haven't yet, but... One of the fun things, by the way, is that there's a space program. You can build your own space program, so we're almost certainly doing that when we get the opportunity to. Is there a longer one we can fit in here? That'll do. We'll just kind of reverse it. There we go. That looks good enough. Squeeze in some more benches. Oh, I don't think there's anything we can do about that gap there, unfortunately. And then if we can get the tree one. It'd be much easier if you had a little menu you could go through rather than having to scroll through the whole lot every time. Because then you forget which way to scroll and end up doing it the long way around. Should we have a little fountain in that corner? There we go. Looks quite nice. just about... This is making the terrain look a bit weird, but it's fine. Right, the Crystal Cathedral. Presumably, this will be both a tourist attraction and an actual, like, a religious building. But the question is, where is it hiding? Well, if it's not in attractions, I guess it must be in... Well, it could be in luxury attractions. Some of which we haven't built yet. We could build, for instance, a botanical garden. Only employs a couple of people, but it takes up quite a lot of space. Although we haven't really used up that much of the island so far. It's pretty much all clustered around the starting area. It would be welfare and economy then, I guess. Diamond Cathedral. Offers religious satisfaction to unsuspecting visitors. Well, we could build that right next to the Swanky Hotel. It looks like. In fact, that fits in very nicely there. Next to the modern city park as well. So let's get that hospital as a priority. Rum and spice rum decreased by 50%. Okay, that's fine. Oh, there we go. Yes, that is a mission thing. It's fine. We've got the money. I can't be bothered looking it up. Let me speed this up an even faster amount than before. Immigration's slowed down a bit, but we've also got population growth going on as well. So we've got, at the moment, there we go, yeah, tourism has jumped up a fair bit. That's going to bump up. Not that much so far. We don't have that many things for tourists to go to. And if we build a hotel, if we build an airport, you'll get richer tourists turning up as well that'll be more inclined to spend more. Right, we might have to hire some doctors. That's fine. I think we're at 700 odd. I was going to look that up. 738 and growing. I don't know what the practical limit of this game is. Like, presumably at some point it will start to chug. But your citizens are relatively simple in their needs for having individual citizens. It's not like Dwarf Fortress where it's capped at... is it 200? Or is it even 100? It might only be 100. Like, the population's quite small, but because the calculations are so detailed for each individual dwarf, once you get close to that, no matter how chunky your computer, it really slows down to a crawl. Oh yes, we were doing that was the thing we did, wasn't it? Healthcare reform. So yeah, that's been done. Excellent. So there's the Diamond Cathedral under construction, which actually takes 5 bishops. Oh, okay. Wow, it's got that slightly satirical edge that the rest of this game does. So fundraising, televangelists, or Presidente's sect. Wow, okay, well, that's a thing we can do. We'll just leave it on fundraising. Poor Healthcare was responsible for 6 deaths last year. Well, we've got the new hospital on the go, so that will help. Maybe we could plonk down a clinic somewhere, I don't know. And we've got most of people with no housing sorted out. And we can also upgrade those, that's fine. That's some really nice quality housing there. We don't have any workers for that. We'll hire one just to get that kick started, and we might want to build some more modern apartment blocks as well. Just one or two for now. I guess on this corner, why not? Oh, I can't get it to line up precisely, but we can... Oh, that irks me though. Oh, but we're gonna have to live with it. It's just very slightly out of alignment. But what can you do? Right, there's enough room behind that for a road, which is fine. We can even do that right now. Oh, well, not let me. I want to do a nice sharp corner like I did there, but no game, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. It really isn't. Oh wait, how do I get rid of road again? There we go. Is there any way to have it? Oh, that's mildly infuriating. Yeah, you can't quite make the nice roads that you can with this game compared to... Well, I keep going back to City Skyline, but even older SimCity games. Yeah, that corner just won't happen apparently. Can we not? No, it really doesn't want to. Oh, dearie me. Right, we're going to have to... If I demolish that bit of road... I want to keep that a nice... clicking in the wrong place. A nice sharp corner. So can we... Oh, I guess this is just how it's going to have to be. Game! Stop messing with me! Oh, for goodness sake. Wow, that is... There we go. That is being really finickety. Super finickety. But it's done now, kinda, more or less. I mentioned the botanical garden. We could actually build that. It's the kind of swanky part of Tropico City over here. Although, would it be... If this is the... Well, really the only proper settlement on New Harris, so does that make it New Leverborough? Or, no, it would be New Tarbert, wouldn't it? There's really only two main villages, and then there's a bunch of smaller villages in Harris. Although, if anyone is in Harris and you know would disagree with me about that, I've probably made an enemy for life, possibly. Insert Simpsons quote about the Scots being a contentious people here. Oh, right, that's not going to happen. That's just going to be an annoying green strip right there, it would seem. It'd be nice if you could get some actual terrain moulding tools, but again, that's not something this game does. I don't know that any of the Tropico games have ever done anything like that. I'll whack that up to highest priority. Set the speed up a little higher as well. We should get those workers soon. We'll make that preventative medicines rather than obstetrics. Let's take a look at some overlays. I don't think I've really looked at that one before. Expenses. What's the most expensive buildings? Yeah, some things just inherently don't make a profit, like cathedrals and hospitals and schools, so it's Seems almost a little weird to have them on that overlay. Island conditions. Pollution's not too bad. We might need some kind of... We might need a water treatment plant up there at some stage. Landfill coverage. It's a bit weird that you can't... Like after a certain point you can't build landfill. I think I've been over this before, but yeah. It isn't... it just isn't a thing you can do. What was I looking for? Crime. That'll be in people, won't it? Oh, apparently crime is very low. It's a bit dicey down at the docks, but apart from that, Liberty. You can. That's quite stark. Yeah, you can see the difference that radio station makes. We might build on all of those actually. Population density. Although it does require oh, we've already got radio free Tropico, so you can only build one of each. Generates revenue. Generates revenue. Let's just go for increases respect. I mean, obviously the people respect me hugely already, but they could always respect me just that little bit more. I think we're going to have to just hire a banker for this building. They want cars. We'll get a free car factory blueprint. Sure, let's build a car factory. Cement factory, car factory, iron and or bauxite. Well, I think we're producing one of those things already. That's a slightly weird, awkward shape for a factory, but okay. We'll build it over here in this semi-industrial area. So yeah, bauxite we're producing. That's oil. I don't know how much is left in that. Power-wise, we are absolutely fine. Right, there's the cathedral. I don't think it's... Like, if it's fully staffed, maybe it would cover its own costs, but probably not, because at that point you've got all the wages being paid as well. But still, it's very modern. Yes. Maybe we could also build another conventillo. Also, we've got those upgrades we can build there. That's fine. But it's nice for housing particularly, you've got that little visual indicator, as it were. You know, when shanties start popping up, you know it's time to look at housing. But I think it's one of the few things in the game where you can kind of say that is the case. Sanatorium is, considering it also just functions as a, I think, a hospital. No one has eaten any meat is even allowed in the Tropico Sanatorium unless he's rich enough. Yeah, that's, we can fly them. Oh, I see. So there is actually an entry fee. Okay, let's just set that down to like 1. So that's the only paid healthcare. Okay, right. Yeah, if we set that down a bit, I think the service... Why is the service quality that much lower than a hospital? I don't know. I think this is more geared as a kind of tourist building that your citizens can also use, but we might as well use it to provide healthcare for just the regular citizens as well. And you know what? Let's just set it down to 0, in fact. So there's our car factory, built nice and quick. Sports line, hybrid line. So we're going to build sensible cars rather than sporty cars, just because it's more materials efficient, apparently. But I bet they export for less. I don't know if that will change the... It'd be cool if it changed the cars everyone drove around in based on your choice, but I don't think it will have an impact somehow. I mean, the cars have changed over time anyway, but it's nice that you can still see the old bangers driving around. Not quite the quality they are in, say, Cuba, but of course, famously, you lift the hood in one of the nice old-looking cars in Cuba, and you're liable to find a very different engine than you would expect underneath. It says Tropical Gardens, the Botanical Gardens built, which is more aimed at tourists. That immediately got filled, so apparently that's a very nice job to work at. Good, that Commentillo's filled up. We're doing alright. We're up to 89. We've covered, in fact, nearly 1990. Yeah, space program. Let's wait till the space program unlocks, build that, and then I think that's me going to end the episode there. That'll be a good length of episode, I think. Right, beef and smoked beef has increased, so we could also get organic ranch going somewhere. Where's a good spot for that? Let's say out here. Build it there so we're not knocking down too many trees. And if I remember correctly, that's only like 2 or 3 people? Yeah, 3 people, so we'll only need... We'll build some housing nearby. So they don't have to travel very far. Talking of travelling, actually, we might need to build... Where's the nearest garage? We might need to build another garage over here. Oh, apparently we can't get that to line up nicely with the... Never mind. That'll do. So yeah, this is all ticking over nicely. I think we've cleared the backlogs of... No, we really haven't. Output storage. Oh, that's input storage that I can see rather than output. Oh, okay. Didn't realise there was a visual indicator for both. Wow, I've done how many episodes of this now? This is like my 8th or 9th episode, and I've only just realised that there is a separate little visual thing for both of those. I'm so good at video games, you know. I notice all these little details so quickly. But in that case, that's definitely output storage. So possibly we could even stand a couple more of these Teamsters offices. How are we doing for unemployment? Right, that's fallen quite a lot, pleasingly. We do have some open job positions, but they might be more like... It doesn't differentiate between types of job positions, whether it's college or high school educated or just uneducated. So infrastructure... It'd be really nice when you mouse over and it gives you the price and everything, if it also gave you the hotkey. So all these things do have hotkeys for their stuff, for their stuff. What am I talking about? They have hotkeys for the kind of common building types, which I've demonstrated on previous occasions when I accidentally try to use the WASD keys and do that instead. Right, so another Teamsters office Let's squeeze one in here, actually. In fact, let's not build that one there. I wonder, is Teamster's office T? No, it's tenement. Well, there goes that guess. I have no idea what Teamster's office would be then. Right, so space program. I don't even know where that's going to be. Oh, apparently we can build as many diamond cathedrals as we want. That's not just a one-off. Cosmic Pin? Revolving 600-foot restaurant. We could have that towering over El Presidente's palace. Could do that, you know. It's like the high-rise bit of town. It's not like the palace isn't in shade enough already. Or we could build it in the modern section and you get a nice view out of over the ocean. Yeah, let's do that. The swanky bit of town, let's say around about there. But yeah, no, we're not. That's just by the by. That's not what we're looking for. Infrastructure. Metro station we haven't built yet. Which I presume you can use to ease the need of building garages everywhere, but it's rather more expensive than a garage. Luxury attractions? No. Tourism? No, up there already. Have I done a golden revolving statue already? We should do that at some point. Industry? No. Government? Government! Space program! First Tropico, then the universe. Pretty expensive, takes up 50 megawatts. Which is fine. That's a surprisingly small space program. Right, I don't know if we necessarily want this to be like next to... It's literally just a launch pad. It's a pretty weird looking launch pad. Let's put it there. It kind of looks like it's meant to be tilted that way. Which is probably a terrible place to put it actually in terms of, you know, if a tsunami hits, but it's fine. It's completely fine, maybe. So yeah, this is how I link this game to Kerbal Space Program, is we build our own Scottish space program and launch space TOGs. That's canon now. That's exactly what we do, is we launch space TOGs from New Harris. Completely canon. How's tourism doing? I'm curious now we've got that hotel up and going. Overview. Tourists. Hotel income is up a bit. We still haven't really got that many actual tourist attractions though, so that's not necessarily helping. We could build something else. Balloon ride? Scenic outlook? The pool! We could build a pool. Let's build a pool. That would go well over in this fancy schmancy section of town. You can go to the cathedral and then go and hang out at the pool. And then afterwards have a nice meal at the Cosmic Pin. And then go and see a farm. It's a lovely day out for all the family. Yeah. Have we started making cars yet? How's that going? Yeah, there we go. Production, output, storage, 79. So they just need to be taken away in their... Yeah, the boxes of... That's how you export cars. It looks like boxes of apples or something. You'd think they might have made a little bit of effort and, you know, made it like containers instead of the completely standard export pile box, but no, apparently that's how we export cars. We strip them down into little parts and disguise them as boxes of apples. Oh, and if you're ever driving a car brand car, you'll know it's one of mine. Wow, that's a bunch popping up at once. Waiting list for what? Don't know. Pay $20,000 to have a present. I don't know what I'm paying for, but okay. Is it a special car? I'm paying $20,000 for the presidency. I don't know what that means. Let's bought 500 goat cheese. Yep, I'm producing goat cheese. We can do that. And there were 2 others. But I don't know if that's just... Oh yeah, that's just these ones. The existing ones. Yeah, I don't know what I just paid money for. Is that a new building? A new palace? I don't know. Oh, we can build a telecoms HQ. Which is that's a rather swish looking tower. Let's have it loom threateningly over these tenements. Oh, also, apparently I had built a metro station already. Do I have another one of those somewhere? Yes, people are using it. Apparently that's completely free as well. I'd utterly forgotten that I'd already built a metro station. Well, there you go. Maybe I could squeeze another one in there. Not super duper expensive. That school's completely up and running. Hospital. That's completely up and running. And might even pay for itself. That's quite nice. Yeah, that's not making a lot of money. Maybe I should just put that into the slush fund. Although we don't really have to at this point. Yeah, I think we decided we weren't going to do the urban development thing. Oh, I could. Decreases the construction cost of all buildings by up to... You know what, let's go for urban development then. Sure, why not? Make buildings a little less expensive after having just splurged on, you know, a space program, which is extremely cheap. Yeah, that's fine. Standard service. All you can eat, all you can drink. Okay. Basically have like a massive buffet or get all the boozy teenagers on spring break, which I only know of in passing because that's just not a thing outside of the US. So, I think we are just about done. We'll speed up this last little bit. We can have our inaugural... It's taking a while to build, but it is, you know, it's a space program. I suppose that's appropriate. We're into 91 already. And I just had the thought maybe we could build another construction office, but no, I'm getting distracted. Just build the things that you're building and end the episode, Jedi. Just do the thing. Do the thing and finish the thing, and then render the video and make the thing. And maybe by the time I've finished, I'll even have my internet back and I'll be able to look at the last video I did and then have a massive facepalm because there was something really obvious I forgot I was going to do. Because that sounds like something I would do. Oh, we literally have a space shuttle. Yes, with the Tropico flag on it. Or the New Harris flag. Sadly, you can't have your actual own custom flag. I wonder if there's a way to do that. The game doesn't let you. Oh, here we go! Yep, tiny Caribbean island can afford its own space program. That's totally legit and utterly makes sense. It's all that whiskey money we get, although actually we can't make whiskey, only rum, sadly. So there we go. I don't know if that just launches things every so often. Does it actually serve any practical... Every nation gazes in wonder as the Tropican space program tries to send dissident after dissident into space. Participation in the program is 100% voluntary. It doesn't employ anybody. It doesn't... I wondered if it would maybe generate some income, you know, like launching satellites and things for other nations, but no, apparently that's just a pure vanity project. And doesn't serve any purpose except to cost money. Okay. Oh, okay, no, there is something. Okay, we get some... Oh, is that what we were paying for? The 20,000. I got confused when it was saying the Presidente. Why am I paying 20,000 for me? But no, it's the shuttle. We were buying the shuttle. So we can try and land on the moon, or we can look for intelligent life. Let's go for a moon landing. Oh, yeah, there was me trying to use the WASD keys again. You'd think I'd remember, but no, I do not. So yeah, it just gives you some events. But you know what? We'll find out what the rest of those events are next time. We're into July of 1991. We've covered a good 5 years this episode. We've expanded things a little bit. We're up to now 830 population. Built a bunch of buildings, including Telecom's network, which presumably means that Tropicans can now use mobile phones. In fact, we might as well do all of them. There we go. I don't entirely know what the purpose of... Housing and job quality goes up by 10. Oh, I see. Okay, it's a bit like the fire station then. Presumably you can also... Is there a... Yeah, you can generate money from it. You can bump entertainment income, or yeah, we'll just stick with that one. So that's actually, you know, that's a little bit expensive in terms of staffing and everything, but yeah, you can just make everyone a bit happier by the fact that they can now get distracted by their phones all day long. Although it's only 1991, it's a bit early for smartphones. Anyway, that's it for our island adventures in this episode. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video, and if you have, you can do all the usual things down underneath it. And of course, as always, stay tuned for more.